Hey guys, I am here out in front of my house getting ready to clean up my flower beds. I have just some end of the season dahlias that need to be cleaned up and dug up so that they don't get totally ruined before next spring. Dahlias are not native to Northeast Ohio, and so if they freeze in our harsh winters, they won't be able to come back in the spring. So you dig them up, save them for next year, replant them in the spring, and they'll do their thing again. This is what my plants look like. So this is one of my dahlia plants. You can see that it's been frosted. The tops of it are pretty much dead. There's a little bit of green left down in there. I had several different varieties. This one was a bloom that had white towards the center there and like a dark purple out towards the ends. And then here's another one. Some of these ones that are back in here, you can still see that there's some green that's been protected because of the corner of the house here. But these were a beautiful orange, and then the back of the flower was like this really pretty sparkly pink. And these ones were a larger bloom, but these are the last of what's hanging on. So I have a few plants here, and I'm just going to cut off the green that is gone now and dig up what's called the tubers. So when I dug up my first one here, I didn't use quite a big enough area around. And so part of these broke off. See how they kind of look like potatoes? You can see where I accidentally cut through part of this one. And unlike potatoes, to store these, we will leave all of this intact as much as possible. And then in the spring, we'll be able to kind of separate things out based on what has started to grow some basic little shoots out the top. So I'll save these just in case, but these ones are probably a no-go because I damaged them. So my second one, I dug up just like this, and you can see that I've got some tubers here from these plants. So here's a couple, but these broke off the main stem. We'll save them just in case. They probably won't make it through the winter. We'll see. So here, look at all that healthy soil and all these good earthworms here. If you've got a whole bunch of worms, it's a sign of really good quality soil. So looky here. This is what we want to see, is all this tuber activity here. It's all kind of in one centralized location. I want to leave these guys out here to keep doing their job in my soil. So this giant clump we will save out for next year. And I'm going to just toss this whole thing in. Try to damage it as little as possible. Get these worms back out of here. There's another one. But these produce such a beautiful bloom. And we'll see what happens in the springtime with these for how many plants we might get out of all these tubers. So it just kind of depends on how many of them make it through the winter. So here's what's left of the big plant, and now those sections are cleaned up. So we'll go on to these ones next. I may have to pull back some of my landscaping cloth so that I can get enough area around the edges of those so that they're going to have a clean area for me to dig instead of damaging stuff. All right, so there's the spot where I just dug up the ones that were that beautiful orange and pink. And here's what came out of the ground. See, it kind of looks like potatoes in there. And I just am gonna shake off a bunch of this dirt. See, we've got one set of tubers there. This one kind of broke off. You see those little colorful nubs there? It's basically the beginnings of more. Ooh, and we've got a a creepy crawly here that we don't want to have in our storage area in the basement. So it looks like he has had a little bit of a Thanksgiving feast and left a little bit of his sludge laying around. So again, knocking off any of the critters that are interested in these. And since these ones were a different color, I'm going to store them separately so that I don't have them mixed together with my yellow or my white and red ones. So here's what it looks like after I finished. I've got a little spot here and more spots back here where my dahlia tubers were. Here's the pile of stuff that needs to go to compost. And then this bigger tub has all the tubers that were from the red and white ones. And there's the tubers from the orange and pink ones. So we'll see what happens as we go to store these for the winter. I'm going to put them in my basement, and I will check on them every once in a while, and if they get to start to kind of shrivel up a little bit, we'll give them a little bit of spray of water, check them every few weeks and see how they're doing. And then in the spring they should have a little bit of shoots of new growth on them, and we'll separate them then. Once we see where the shoots of new growth are coming out, we'll break them apart and then plant them. Each one of the shoots of new growth will be its own plant, and hopefully we'll have more than 5 of those. This year I had 5 plants, and we'll see kind of what next year brings for the amount of plants I might get from these tubers. So thanks for watching.